Well, Denise, Melissa, the shooting is drawing a lot of attention online, with many people identifying one of the two men shot as NBA Ben 10, an affiliate of rapper NBA YoungBoy. And Houston police say that the gunman on the run was actually being robbed for his chains and assaulted when he shot up the restaurant before taking off.
YoungBoy found out his brother got shot, and he didn't say a single word publicly. No post, no story, no tweet, nothing. Now, before y'all rush to the comments saying he doesn't care, slow down, because that silence, it speaks louder than anything he could have said. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happened in Houston on April 8th, why Ben 10 is lucky to still be alive, and what YoungBoy's silence might really reveal about his mindset. This isn't gossip, this is about street dynamics. And if you don't understand the difference yet, you're about to. Stay with me, because this goes deeper than you think. First, let's talk about the real people involved, because a lot of folks online have been downplaying who NBA Ben 10 really is. People keep calling him just an associate of YoungBoy, like he's some random name in the background. That couldn't be further from the truth. Ben 10, real name Ben Anthony Fields, is family, not just close blood. He's YoungBoy's cousin, raised in the same Baton Rouge environment that shaped Kentrell Gaulden into the artist the world knows as NBA YoungBoy. They didn't just grow up in the same city, they came up in the same circles, faced the same struggles, and survived the same conditions. Ben 10 is also part of the Never Broke Again collective, a movement YoungBoy built from nothing when people counted him out. And let's be clear, NBA isn't just a rap label like people think. It's deeper than music. It's a brotherhood, a code, a mindset where loyalty comes first, no matter what. YoungBoy didn't just sign talent, he brought in his day ones, his family, the people who were there before the fame, before the money, before the spotlight. Ben 10 is one of those people. He's not just family either, he's built his own lane. He's worked behind the scenes as a videographer, built a strong social media presence with over 1 million Instagram followers, launched his own clothing brand called Slime Design, and even appeared alongside YoungBoy in videos like Hell and Back. That's not just someone in the background, that's someone building alongside him. But here's the reality. When you're connected to someone like NBA YoungBoy, attention comes with it. Whether you want it or not, you're in the spotlight. The jewelry, the image, the lifestyle, it all makes you visible. And sometimes, visibility turns into risk. On the night of April 8th, that spotlight caught up with Ben 10 in the worst way possible. This didn't happen in some random corner either. It went down at Confessions, a restaurant and nightclub in Houston's Upper Kirby area. That's an upscale part of the city. The kind of place you go to celebrate, to enjoy yourself, to live a little. Ben 10, 26, was there that night reportedly for a spring break-related event, possibly even a birthday celebration. It was supposed to be a good night, good energy, good vibes. But everything changed in an instant. Inside the club, a situation started to build. And according to Houston Police Lieutenant R. Wilkins, this didn't even begin as a shooting, it started as a robbery attempt. Someone tried to take Ben 10's chains.
So what we know right now is our suspect, who we don't know who he is right now, we're working on that. Investigators do a great job, I'm sure they'll figure out who he is, was at this location and had a confrontation with a couple of guys. That altercation originally, and it appears from what they were doing, was trying to take his chains. Now, we don't know if they knew him or what that was, but it appears possibly they knew this guy, and they were in the process of trying to rip his chains off. That went on for 30 seconds to a minute where these two guys were tussling with him, actually got him to the ground, and appears probably got his chains from him.
Now really think about this for a second. You're in a packed Club 20, maybe 30 people all around, and somebody decides tonight is the night they're going to run up on someone tied to NBA and snatch his jewelry. That's not random. That's not just reckless behavior. That takes a certain level of confidence or a certain level of information. Because you don't just approach someone connected to YoungBoy's circle without knowing exactly who you're dealing with. So it comes down to two possibilities. Either these guys were bold and careless, or they knew something. And in the streets, people have already started debating which one it was. According to Lieutenant Wilkins, the whole confrontation lasted somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute. But in that short time, it turned into a full-on struggle, pushing, grabbing, multiple people involved. Ben 10 was forced to the ground, and it looks like the attackers actually got what they came for. They took the chains. At that point, it should have been over. Quick hit, in and out. But that's where everything took a turn. Because the person being robbed, the one Wilkins referred to as the suspect, wasn't even Ben 10. It was someone else caught in the situation. Someone who got overpowered and dragged down in the chaos. And somehow, during all of that, he still had a weapon on him. The moment the chains were taken, everything changed. He reached, pulled out a firearm, and started shooting. Not aiming, not controlled, just firing. Inside a crowded restaurant. Lieutenant Wilkins said it plainly. He pulled it out and started shooting randomly. 2 people were hit. 2, and one of them was Ben Anthony Fields, cousin to NBA YoungBoy, member of the Never Broke Again collective. Shot inside Confessions nightclub in Houston, Texas on April 8, 2026. After that, it was pure chaos. Witnesses described people screaming, diving behind tables, knocking over chairs, doing anything they could to get out of the line of fire. Within hours, a video from inside the club went viral showing panic everywhere. People on the floor, furniture flipped, and one person yelling that someone had been killed. That's when the rumors started spreading.
Another fella jumps in and several other people jump in as well, along with these other guys, and they start having a fist fight. And they're beating this guy pretty bad. They got him on the ground and beating him pretty good. Sometime during that part of the fight, our victim, who was originally looked like he was being majorly assaulted by several people and getting his chains ripped off, he presents a pistol. We don't know where he got it from, but he got it. Must have had it in his pants the whole time, but he got it out and started shooting randomly. Ends up hitting 2 people. Those are our 2 victims. Not certain if these are the same ones that were trying to rip off his necklaces or not. Again, investigation's just now starting, but investigators are going to get over here and try to figure out exactly how that occurred. We got some folks on the scene that are talking to us and got some good video.
Because in 2026, when something like this happens, social media doesn't wait for facts. It reacts. Instantly. Twitter, Instagram, everything went into overdrive. Rumors started flying that Ben 10 didn't make it, that he was gone, that another name had been added to the list. And just like that, panic took over the timeline. Here's what the situation actually looked like in those first few hours. 2 victims, multiple gunshot wounds, both in critical condition according to Houston police, and complete silence from the NBA camp. Lieutenant Wilkins laid it out clearly. 1 victim had been shot multiple times in the torso, chest, stomach, vital areas. The other was hit several times in the arms and legs. Both were rushed to local hospitals. Both were in serious condition. No sugarcoating, it was life-threatening. But then, things started to shift. As the rumors spread, people online began piecing together what was really going on. And the first real update didn't come from a press conference or a news outlet. It came from Instagram. OG Monique, the mother of rapper OG33 and someone closely tied to the NBA circle, posted a simple message. 10 is alert, stop the made-up stories. That was it. No long explanation, just a direct correction. And with those words, everything changed. Ben 10 was alive, conscious, talking. You could feel the relief hit instantly. Fans flooded social media with prayers and support. The hip-hop community locked in because everyone understands what Ben 10 represents in that circle and what losing him would have meant. But while all of that was happening, there was one thing people couldn't ignore. Silence. No post, no statement, no reaction from NBA YoungBoy. Even his team said nothing. Every major outlet confirmed it, no public response at all. And that's where people started getting it wrong. A lot of folks saw that silence and took it the wrong way. They said he didn't care, said he moved on from his people, built narratives that completely missed who Kentrell Gaulden really is. Because the truth is, this isn't indifference, it's strategy. If you followed YoungBoy at all, you already know the pattern. This is someone who's dealt with federal cases, legal pressure, constant scrutiny. Someone who understands that in his position, every word matters. When something like this happens, you don't run to social media. You don't react in the moment, because anything you say can be used against you, legally, publicly, or even in the streets. And in that world, speaking on situations like this can put a bigger target on everyone involved. So no, his silence isn't cold. It's calculated. It's protection. But here's the part that really matters. Ben 10 survived. He's stable, he's conscious, and he's expected to recover. That's the reality everyone in that circle is holding on to right now. The fact that the worst-case scenario didn't happen. Because if it had, that silence would mean something very different. We're talking about NBA YoungBoy, an artist whose music is built on pain, loyalty, and loss. Someone who has turned real-life trauma into records that millions feel. If Ben 10 didn't make it, the impact wouldn't have stayed quiet for long. That's why the internet was watching so closely. Waiting. Refreshing for updates. But this time, the story didn't end that way. Now the situation is still unfolding. The shooter hasn't been publicly identified. Police say they have surveillance footage, witnesses, and an active investigation, but no arrests yet. And that matters, because as long as that person is still out there, this story isn't over. Legally, it's complicated too. The person who fired the shots was reportedly being robbed outnumbered on the ground, getting his chains taken. That opens the door to a self-defense argument. But at the same time, firing randomly in a crowded club and hitting multiple people, including bystanders, creates serious legal consequences. This isn't a simple case. There are too many witnesses, too many variables, and too many unanswered questions. Then there's Ben 10's recovery. Yes, he's alert, but multiple gunshot wounds, especially to the torso, don't just heal overnight. The road ahead is going to be long, painful, uncertain. And he's going to need time and support from everyone around him. The response from the culture has been consistent. Prayers, respect, and recognition of what he means to that circle. But this situation is bigger than just one night. It's a reminder of the reality that comes with being in that spotlight. This isn't just music. It's not just an image. The lifestyle, the chains, the association, it all comes with real consequences. Ben 10 wasn't in a dangerous alley. He was in an upscale part of Houston, at a place meant for celebration. And still, violence found him. That's the reality. And it forces a bigger conversation about the cost of this life, the risks that come with visibility, and how quickly things can change. Because this time, Ben 10 survived. But it could have gone the other way. And we've seen that story play out too many times already. Too many names, too many losses, too many moments where the culture pauses and then moves on. But this time is different. This time, we're talking about what was almost lost. And that should hit just as hard. So where things stand right now is simple. Ben 10 is alive. He's alert. He's still here. The investigation is ongoing. The suspect is still unknown. The recovery process is just beginning. And YoungBoy, he's still silent. But for those who understand his world, that silence says everything.